Hare Krishna. Welcome to our program. Our speaker of the day is Shriman Gaurang Darshan Prabhu. He has done his master's degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prabhuji is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is a senior disciple of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is also a member of ISKCON Examination Board and takes classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Vaishnav etiquettes. He has written elaborate workbooks on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, with which the students can dive into intricacies of these great scriptures. He is a compiler of many other educational booklets and magazines, thus helping the seekers of Bhagavad knowledge. In all, he is a living encyclopedia of scriptures preaching the science all over the world, and who is exemplary and lives whatever he preaches. Come, let's hear him and try to imbibe the essence of scriptures as presented by him. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
We have been discussing Damodar Leela in the last 6 episodes, and we saw how Mother Yashoda bound Krishna to a wooden grinding mortar. Krishna saw Mother Yashoda's parishrama, her hard labor in trying to bind him, and Krishna became very merciful on Mother Yashoda, and he agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. In this beautiful enchanting Leela of Damodar Leela, Krishna manifested a lot of contradictions in his own character. He compromised on some of his own opulences. He relinquished some of his opulences to prove his topmost quality of mercy upon his devotees. Krishna is called Bhakta Paradhina or Bhakta Vashyata. He is controlled, captivated and captured by the love of his devotees. That is his topmost quality. To manifest this quality, to prove that this quality is the topmost of all his qualities, Krishna has compromised on some of his opulences. Although Krishna is the supreme proprietor, he steals butter from the houses of gopis. Although Krishna is the absolute truth, he speaks a lot of lies. And although Krishna is self-satisfied, he becomes hungry for mother's milk. And although Krishna is peace personified, he becomes angry. And although Krishna is time personified, he flees in fear of Mother Yashoda's stick. And although Krishna is the fastest, he cannot be caught even by great sages through their minds, through their words. He gets caught by Mother Yashoda. And we have discussed all these qualities in the previous episodes. Now we will discuss another quality. Although Krishna is condensed bliss, he cries in this episode. In Brahma Samhita, it is said that Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Krishna is peace personified, and Krishna is eternal, and Krishna is bliss personified also. He is ever blissful. There are no difficulties in Krishna's life. Krishna need not undergo any material tribulations or miseries. He has no reason to cry in pain. But in this pastime, Krishna is profusely shedding tears because his mother Yashoda kept him aside, depriving him of milk. Although he is condensed bliss, he is crying. And another opulence of Krishna that he had relinquished to prove his quality of being controlled by his devotees is Krishna is the object of prayers. And although Krishna is the object of prayers, Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Maruta Hastunvanti Divyaihi Stavaihi, all the great demigods, including Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, and great sages also come and offer prayers to Krishna. In fact, all the scriptures also offer beautiful prayers to the Lord. But still, that kind of great personality who is the object of all prayers and praises, he gets scolded in this pastime. Mother Yashoda says, "Oh Krishna, you are like a monkey. You are so naughty. You are so restless. You are so fickle-minded, and you are house plunderer. You have stolen butter. You have broken pots, and you have created a great mischief in my house." So like that, Mother Yashoda is chastising Krishna profusely in this beautiful pastime. So although Krishna is object of prayers, he has become an object of chastisement. Why? Krishna does not accept chastisement from anyone. He need not. If somebody blasphemes Krishna, he will go to hell. So one should not unnecessarily blaspheme God. But here Mother Yashoda is chastising Krishna out of deep love for Krishna, out of great concern for Krishna. So this is an expression of love of God. He is the object of prayers, but he is getting chastised. And Krishna is the supreme judge. He decides what are the future destinations of people according to their karma. People have done so many activities, good activities, bad activities, auspicious and inauspicious, pious and impious activities they have performed. Accordingly, they will get results. Krishna will reciprocate with people according to the way they approach him. But he is the supreme judge. He need not await judgment of anyone. But when Mother Yashoda caught Krishna, Krishna bent his head low and he was awaiting the judgment of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda finally gave her judgment. I will bind this boy. I will bind him to a wooden grinding mortar so that he doesn't do such mischief anymore and I can focus on my household duties. He is the supreme judge, but he awaits judgment in this Leela, in Damodar Leela. Another important quality of Krishna is he is all pervading. He is all pervading throughout time and space, but Mother Yashoda bound Krishna. How can a person who is everywhere be bound by a rope? But Mother Yashoda has done it. Because all the universes are there within the belly of Krishna, Mother Yashoda, when she bound Krishna, she brought all the universes under her control. That is the greatness of a devotee. Although Krishna is all pervading, Mother Yashoda bound him. Krishna is the divine supreme Godhead. His desire prevails, but in front of his devotee's determination to serve him and bind him, Krishna had to give up his own desire. So he gave more importance to his devotee's desire and he has given up his own desire. Who can be more merciful than Krishna? Who can be a more loving God than Krishna? Is there any other personality in the entire cosmic manifestation who can love his devotees as much as Krishna does? Krishna's desire is not to get bound, but his devotee Yashoda desired to bind him. Krishna has given up his desire and Mother Yashoda's desire became prominent. So in front of divinity's desire, devotee's determination becomes more prominent. That is because of the Supreme Lord Krishna's sanction. He gives more importance to his devotees' desires than he takes for himself. So Krishna is such a loving God. Kamva dayalum sharanam vrajema. Who else can be more merciful than Krishna? Krishna is the ultimate liberator. He is the person who can give ultimate liberation to every single conditioned soul who is entangled in the material existence. Everybody renders service to God to seeking liberation from this material existence, and although he is the liberator of everyone, he is bound now. So to relieve oneself from bondage, they take shelter of Krishna, and now Krishna himself is in bondage of Mother Yashoda's love. This bondage is loving bond. He is bound by love. He is not bound by rope. He is called Damodara in this Leela. Damodara. Dama is rope, Udara means belly. Damodara is that Lord whose belly is bound by a rope, and that rope is love of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda. Yasha means fame. Yashoda means one who gives fame. Mother Yashoda is called Yashoda because she had given the fame to Krishna that he is controlled by his devotees. Krishna was made famous as a person who is so affectionate to his devotees through this Damodar Leela, and Yashoda Mai Yashodamai gives that fame to Krishna. Yashoda, giver of fame to Krishna as a person who is controlled by the affection of his devotees. That's the glory of Mother Yashoda. Krishna's fame increased because of Mother Yashoda's activities in Damodar Leela. Krishna is the supreme liberator, but he is bound by the love of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda's position is unparalleled. That's why Sukadeva Goswami describes her great position with this shloka. Nemam virincho nabhavo nashrir apyanga samshrayat prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. Na imam virincho, this mercy that Mother Yashoda has received, this kind of attention and special grace, special prasada that Mother Yashoda had received was not available to anyone. Na imam virincho, virinchi means Brahma. Nimam virincho na bhavo, even Shiva also did not get this benediction. Na shrir api anga samshrayat, Shri means Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmi is very close to the Supreme Lord, but still she also did not get this special attention and special mercy of Krishna. So Mother Yashoda's position is superior even to Brahma, even to Shiva, even to Mother Lakshmi also. She is the supreme mother of Krishna, and in fact all the mothers of Krishna's various incarnations are originating from this supreme mother, Mother Yashoda. So Yashoda is the supreme goddess who becomes the mother of Krishna also. She is the epitome of Vatsalya Rasa. Vatsalya Rasa is parental affection for God. So in this way, Krishna has relinquished all his wonderful qualities and opulences to prove that he is controlled by his devotees. Damodar Leela is that Leela that demonstrates this divine quality of Krishna, that Krishna is bound by the love of his devotees. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutah. Sukadeva Goswami speaks another beautiful verse. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutah. This Gopika Sutta, Gopika is Mother Yashoda, Gopika Sutta is son of this Gopika, that is Krishna. This Krishna is not easily obtainable by people who are embodied souls, people who are attached to philosophical speculations, people who are attached to fruitive activities. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutaha jnaninam chatma bhutanam yatha bhaktimatam iha. Jnanis means great intellectual people, great philosophical speculators. Atma Bhutana means those who are self-realized, those who have understood their eternal existence as souls and not bodies. Jnaninam Chatma Bhutanam Yatha Bhaktimatam Iha. The qualification to understand God is devotion and love, not knowledge, not detachment, not even realization of the temporariness of this material world. So you need not be an analyst or scientist or a great philosopher to understand God. You just need love for God. Mother Yashoda is not a philosopher. She was not a scientist. She was not a great gnani. She was not a person who can analyze things. She can if she wants, but actually her prominent quality is devotion to Krishna, love for Krishna. In front of love for Krishna, all other qualities are so subordinate. In fact, all these qualities, they manifest in the personality of a devotee, if at all Krishna wants devotee to possess all these qualities. But one thing that a devotee has to cultivate is love for Krishna. That is the topmost quality, and Mother Yashoda has this love in profuse quantities, and that makes her the topmost devotee of Krishna. And in Damodar Ashtakam, Satyavrata Muni very beautifully describes this Leela in this way. Iti driksvalila bhirananda kunde svaghosham nimajjantam akhyapayantam tadiye shitagneshu bhaktairjitatvam punah prematastam shatavriti vande. Iti driksvalila bhir ananda kunde. performing pastimes like Damodar Leela and other pastimes, Krishna is immersing all the residents of Vrindavan in pools of ecstasy, in ponds of bliss. Iti driksva leelabhir ananda kunde svaghosham nimajjantam. Swaghosha means his own associates, the Vrajavasis. Krishna is immersing all of them in ponds of bliss, in ecstasy. And by doing so, Krishna is advertising to all those devotees who are attached to the conceptions of majesty and opulence of God. There are people who worship God with reverence. It is not wrong, definitely it is not wrong to worship God in reverence. But in this Damodar Leela, the Supreme Lord Krishna exhibits that there are devotees who are much more advanced and higher than those devotees who are worshipping me in reverence also. People may worship the Lord as a king, as a master, and they worship with lot of reverence, following so many rules and regulations, and that has to be done. That is important. That's a part of bhakti. But there are Vrajavasis who are most special devotees who have surpassed this reverential worship also. They love Krishna. They only have pure emotions for Krishna. They consider Krishna as their son, as their friend, as their lover. They may not worship Krishna as a king, but they will love Krishna as their friend and son and lover, and Krishna likes that pure love. They are loving Krishna and they are serving Krishna not because Krishna is God and their protector, just because he is Krishna and they love him. There is no other reason, there is no expectation from Krishna. All the Vrajavasis expect is, let Krishna be there with us so that he can receive all the love and affection that we are showering upon him. That's all they want. They want to selflessly render service to Krishna. In this Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda's selfless love for Krishna is very wonderfully demonstrated. Svaghosham nimajjantam akhyaapayantam tadiyeshitagneshu bhaktair jitatvam. For those people who are worshipping Krishna with reverence, Krishna is giving this message. My quality is bhaktair jitatvam. I am controlled, I am defeated by my devotees. Jitatva means I am conquered by my devotees' love. So, to prove this quality, Krishna relinquishes other opulences also. Thus, Krishna is finally bound by Mother Yashoda. So, Mother Yashoda, after binding Krishna, she called some little older boys who were playing nearby and said, "Oh boys, you should guard Krishna. Now I have tied up Krishna to this wooden grinding mortar, you should not be doing any more mischief. Just guard him." And then Mother Yashoda went inside the house and started doing her household activities. That's Deepavali day. So Mother Yashoda very strictly bound Krishna. At this stage, nobody was there to rescue Krishna. Of course, some gopis came around, but Mother Yashoda did not listen to them. And whenever Mother Yashoda becomes very strict with Krishna, Nanda Maharaj would come and console Mother Yashoda and take the side of Krishna and then protect Krishna. And if Nanda Maharaj was not there at house, at least Rohini will be there. Rohini is the mother of Balaram. Rohini would come to rescue Krishna and she would pacify Mother Yashoda and then just mellow down her. But here in Damodar Leela, Krishna was alone and Mother Yashoda is angry. Nanda Maharaj was not there, Rohini was also not there to protect. Rohini and Balaramji, they went to Upananda's house for a special invitation on Diwali. So Krishna is caught alone and Krishna is crying at the top of his voice, "Oh Mother Rohini, where are you? In your absence, my Mother Yashoda is binding me. She has become so strict with me." So he was crying at the top of his voice, but Mother Yashoda did not show any compassion or leniency on Krishna. So Mother Yashoda went inside after binding Krishna. Krishna sat there and he was crying. And in Nanda Maharaj's courtyard, there were two huge trees called Yamalarjuna trees. So Krishna saw these Yamalarjuna trees and he became empathetic towards these trees. These two trees were actually the sons of Kuvera. Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigods. He is the wealthiest person in the universe. And somehow the sons of Kuvera were cursed to become trees in Nanda Maharaj's courtyard by Narada Muni. We will discuss the story little later. But when Krishna was crying in this way, Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda. Krishna could empathize with the bondage of this Nalakuvera and Manigriva. So when he himself is bound, he could understand the pain of bondage. Of course, Krishna is all-knower, he can understand everything. As Krishna was bound in this way, he was crying profusely. Balaramji came there. When Balaramji came to Krishna, Krishna saw Balaramji and he started crying more. And Balaramji asked Krishna, Krishna, who had tied you up like this? Right? Who is that person? I am Lakshmana, I am Sankarshna, I am Seshanaga, I have all powers, I can destroy the entire universe. Whoever has done this great offense unto you, he is supposed to be punished. So I am going to destroy the entire universe. Tell me who has bound you. And Krishna very softly told Balramji, Mother Yashoda tied me up like this. And so far Balramji was roaring like a lion, again he became like a cat. Oh, Mother Yashoda bound you. In front of Mother Yashoda's love, Balramji cannot glorify his own prowess. So Mother Yashoda made a decision to bind Krishna. Balramji became very weak. He became like a cat. He became very humble. Why didn't you tell me before only? So Balramji was feeling so embarrassed. And he sat down there and he told Krishna, Krishna, I told you not to do any mischief. I told you not to break pots. I told you not to steal butter. You are doing so many mischievous activities, and what will happen? Mother Yashoda finally became angry and she tied you up like this. And hearing these words of Balramji, Krishna started crying even more. And when Krishna was crying like that, seeing Krishna's pain, Balramji became so sympathetic and he went inside the house. He went close to Mother Yashoda. He told Mother Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, do you know who is Krishna? Mother Yashoda sarcastically looked at Balramji and said, who is Krishna? And Balramji said, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is directly Bhagavan. He is endowed with all 6 opulences. He is Narayana, he is Rama, he is Narasimha, he is Varaha, he is the origin, he is the fountainhead of all divine incarnations. Then Mother Yashoda asked, then who are you? He said, I am Balram, I am Lakshmana, I am Sankarshna, I am Adisesha, I am Seshanag, I am the supreme protector and supreme servant of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Then Mother Yashoda sarcastically said that all the incarnations in the universe have to take birth in my home only, or what? If you speak anything more than this, I will beat you up and I will also tie you up. Get lost from here. Then Balramji became so afraid and then he ran away from there. So he came to Krishna and Krishna was crying there. When Krishna was crying, Balramji said, I told you not to do any mischief. Seeing you in this condition, I am also unable to control my tears. And Balramji also started crying along with Krishna. Krishna was crying, Balramji was crying. Mother Yashoda is very strict, absorbed in her household activities inside the house. At the time, Balramji waited for a while and again slowly went to Mother Yashoda. And he said, my dear Mother Yashoda, so don't you have some kindness on Krishna? Krishna is lying there in such a bound condition for a long time. So can you please release him? I think it's the right time to release him. So can you please come and just untie him? Or if you give me permission, I will go and then untie him. So can you please tell me, can we do like this? Then Yashoda Mai angrily looked at Balram. She did not agree to this. So Balramji, just seeing this denial, he just went away. So he went to Krishna and both of them started crying. At that time, Krishna, he was crying for a while and he diverted his attention on these 2 great trees, tall Yamalarjuna trees, which were lying on the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and Krishna wanted to go near them. What happened next, we will see in the next episode. Hare Krishna.
For more such devotional programs, please watch Hare Krishna television. To get this channel, please contact your cable or DTH operator. For more information, Please call 8767 845 845.